Hi everyone. Until I started teaching, I really didn't know I had a technique for doing this, but I like to blot a lot of buttercream on my cake tops before I do the sides, and I take my spatula and stay on top of the icing, and always never go off, never try to scrape your spatula onto the cake to get the icing off. Always go on top of the icing and scoot it to the edge, leaving a nice thick layer of icing underneath you. Never try to thin it out too thin, because you can always do that after you get the icing spread across the cake. So see how I'm not going onto the cake, and I'm not trying to wipe it off onto the cake. If you want to get your spatula off the cake, don't try to lift, because you're just going to lift your cake up, and don't go off the cake that way, and don't try to scrape it off the side of the cake. What you want to do is go back over the icing and lift it off. So get it over there and just back over the icing and lift it off. So keep just pushing and pushing and just lift it off back over the icing. Never take your spatula over the cake. Always stay on top of the icing. You know, I was teaching some classes, and this is always the most difficult part of the entire class, is putting the buttercream on the cake. And it's just the weirdest thing, because I had to stop and figure out, why is it so hard for everybody to do that? And I didn't realize I had a little technique just from doing it for so long. And I know I'm using this on a really big cake right now. This is a small spatula, but I like to actually spread it with a small spatula and then go behind with a larger offset spatula. This is an offset spatula. I love them. Go behind with the larger offset spatula to do the final leveling of everything. But always stay on top of your icing, not your cake, and just keep pushing your icing. It's better to have more icing than you need on the cake than not enough. And you can always take some more off, you know, just scrape some off as you find you don't need it. But stay on that icing. I find so many people making Oreo frosting on their cakes because they're just not getting it. I don't understand it, but so I figured I'd make a quick video on it. And I always do the tops first and then go around and do the sides, because when you go to do the sides, you're just going to drop it down. Let me grab some more here. I like to use these ice cream tubs for my frosting. I always just stay on top and always go back off your icing to get your spatula off, and stay parallel with the wall. And just keep a nice thick chunk up front here, and always just put your next batch of frosting just behind it and push. Don't ever try to wipe or scrape or anything like that. Just stay parallel to the wall and push. See how I'm leaving that chunk right there? I'm going to get another scoop here. Stay right behind that chunk. I'm videotaping with my left hand, and push. And just keep on pushing that chunk forward. Never get rid of the chunk, and always stay nice and thick on your icing, because you can always thin your icing out later. Just the whole idea is to get your icing on without having to do a crumb coat. So that's all there is to it. And on the corners, oops.